Hello, today we're just going to be talking about random story prompts with this cool space background I found off of Google. Anyway,
Yay, Google!
yay Google, coming clutch. So, what do you got for us?
So, this is literally going to be an audio thing, and what I have is a text. Sorry. Anyways, I'm focused now.
That's kind of off topic, but would you like to elaborate on that text?
No, I have a friend.
Really,
It's
that's hard
miracle.
to believe.
Okay, so I thought I was looking at writing prompts, and I thought it'd be fun to do world building, but the first thing I found is writing siblings.
Okay.
And since I figured we're siblings, I don't know if you knew that, but we're siblings.
Oh, really? I hadn't noticed.
So I thought we could actually read the list and
Okay.
actually agree or disagree.
and see how.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's because have you ever read one of those books where it's they write siblings?
The siblings are too perfect.
Yeah, they're too perfect for each other, and it's
Yeah.
okay, we're awesome, big flex, we're awesome kids. Mom actually told me today that she was very lucky with 4 of us.
Yeah.
But she counted wrong.
4 of us.
She was counting Pepper, not Colton.
Yeah. I can
names.
see that.
She's counting the dog, not
Him. Our younger brother isn't exactly the sharpest tool in the shed.
I shouldn't say his name. His name will be him from now on.
If he had to be a tool, he would be the plastic shovel that you leave in the back of the shed because...
The one the toddlers chewed on.
Yeah, because there are no
Anyways.
sharp edges on that thing whatsoever. Anyway,
Okay, so the first thing it says is make fun of their parents.
I'd say that's true.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be very fast if we're just that's true. We can talk about it more when we get to them. But make fun of their other siblings.
Yeah, you just heard us do that. We just made fun of our younger brother.
That wasn't making fun of him. We were bullying him for certain.
Well, I mean, a little bit of bullying and chastising can go a long way.
Taking each other's clothes.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen.
Okay, maybe not for you, but I am currently wearing your shirt.
You are not wearing my shirt. I can
Magic
attest
body.
that you are wearing a tank top, and I do not own a tank top.
But, I still her clothes all the time. That's what I'm referring to our sister as now. Her and
you
him.
You can just call her our sister.
Her.
Fine. Anyway.
And him.
Okay.
With emphasis.
All right.
Fight over chores.
Yes, we do that. Especially
since you guys all walk away from the kitchen after dinner.
I do not.
Yeah, you're right. You stand there and just watch.
Yeah, but at least I'm present.
That's not a chore.
Supervising is a chore. If it's a job, it is a chore.
Then it's a chore for me. I'm the oldest. I get the chore. Not you.
You get the chore of supervising?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Fine.
Yeah. It's not a very big list, and yet I lost my place. Gossiped about cousins. Yes.
Maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Yeah,
It's not the only thing we do. Our cousins are kind of distant from us physically and socially, so.
Thank you for that.
What?
You're talking to me. I knew that. But
Yeah.
no, when we talk about, Haley and, how she became a Visco girl, or... Yeah, she's the only one really close. Or,
Yeah,
I mean, Xander, because Xander's always doing stupid shit.
It's not him that does stupid shit. It's Jordan that does it.
Xander does stupid shit. He stole from Ray.
Jordan's dumber.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Jordan's dumber.
By a long shot.
Jordan's dumber. I mean, he'll go fishing in a toilet. But, Xander does stupid shit as in, robs his mom of $1,000.
Really? I did not hear about any of that.
Yeah, it wasn't $1,000, but it was $500, and he spent it all on soda and candy. So, yeah.
They're just both dumb.
Gossip about cousins?
I guess we just did that, huh?
Yeah. Check that one off the list. I didn't know we were making the list. Oh, this one, no. Watch TV or movies that are appropriate for the youngest sibling.
Yes.
I mean, no. The youngest sibling has the remote. That's how it works.
No, I can attest that I do watch movies that are appropriate for our younger siblings.
I don't.
You and I watched a movie from our childhood just the other day. We watched Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Okay, but that wasn't for our younger sibling.
No, it wasn't for our younger siblings.
And I think that's what this is more of talking about.
But it is a movie that is appropriate for our younger siblings.
Sure, it's appropriate, but I don't think we watched it for him.
That is what the question asks, though. It doesn't ask if we watched it for him. It asks, do we watch it because it's appropriate for him?
But we're not. But you're looking at it and going, "Oh, this is appropriate. We'll watch this with him, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Okay, well, the next trick is watch TV or movies that are not appropriate to the youngest sibling.
I'd say that's a yes as well.
We didn't watch Willy's Wonderland with him, did we?
No, we did not.
Okay.
We also were told not to watch Ghost Adventures with him because
Yeah, or
that whole
Sixth Sense,
mess.
but he watched Sixth Sense. And I think he's walked in on me and Allison or her watching a couple of rated R movies.
It doesn't matter. You can say their names.
I don't
Nobody's
want to.
gonna hunt us down or anything like that.
That's fair. Help with mean teachers.
No, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Especially since we both graduated.
We can help. Yeah, no. Help cheat on assignments for school.
Yeah.
Yes. Allison wrote Colton's essay in 6th grade. I've given up on the name thing.
I guess we help our mother cheat on school all the time.
But
though.
this is more for siblings, you know, not mom or dad.
Yeah, I know.
But most importantly, we do not call each other bro or sis. Ain't that right, bro?
I'm trying to think of something funny to say, but I don't curse, so.
I don't. Just what the are you talking about?
Yeah.
I did that for you, so you didn't have to bleep it out.
Thank you, sis.
No, you're welcome, bro. Oh my gosh, I hate those kind of books.
we
Have
usually-
you read those where they're like, bro? And it's like, no. And
No.
I've noticed people are so bad at writing siblings that instead they'll just make an autistic little brother to an older sister. That's how it works.
Yeah, like, and it's
And it's like 10 years apart too, you know?
yeah. Like, what were your parents doing?
Yeah. And it's always that. It's become a stereotype to have an autistic little brother because that's the best way to get a perfect family dynamic, which is really, really not okay.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it isn't. But-
stop normalizing a perfect family as in the siblings getting along. We don't get along, and we're flawless.
Well, we do get along. I would say we do, but that's something you have to grow into. It just doesn't happen naturally.
We also have to be twins.
Yeah.
If people were actually listening to this, they'd hate us so hard for that.
Why would they hate us so hard for that?
Because there's people out there with actual twins, and so they'd be like, "You're not actually twins."
Well, they don't know that.
Now they do.
We're actual twins.
No, we're not. If we're actual twins, I'm wearing your shirt.
You are not wearing my shirt. Mostly because we are different.
Fine.
Okay, I was gonna say last I checked, but I haven't checked. So, but I'm fairly certain the last time.
But I've stolen your clothes before. Like,
I don't doubt that you have. I'm just saying I haven't stolen your clothes because that would be weird.
I've seen you in a dress.
Have I been in a dress?
Yes, you've been in a dress.
It wasn't your dress though, was it?
Probably not. I don't know.
Anyway, next prompt.
I'm trying to
Or do you
find
not
one.
have one?
Like, that's literally all I found. I was reading off of it. But,
Yeah.
like, seriously, though, have you
Basically-
read those books? Like,
Basically, if you and your siblings out there are perfect, fight us. There can only be one.
we're already the flawless, perfect family duo.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
I'm
Still nothing?
seriously just, like, looking at things. But, like, seriously, writing books with siblings. I actually wrote a little story once. Did I let you read that? It was about, like, the little brother who got murdered.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I remember. I had probably one of the most depressing prompts, and my English teacher actually told me, she's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, "Well, everyone else wrote of 2,000 stories like you did, and it was all fantasy, but yours was the only one where someone died." And I was like, "That can't be the truth." And she's like, No. There was, like, sure, there were ghosts and stuff in some of them, but yours is the only one that had, like, a grieving character. Are you okay? And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." But she also told me, because that was just derailed the wrong way, she also told me, because I wrote a dynamic where the narrator was a sibling, and I never actually specified if it was a girl or boy, and no one ever pointed that out, by the way.
Okay.
But, like,
But yeah.
that sibling had a little brother, and it was obvious they got along, but it wasn't like they were calling each other bro or sis.
Yeah.
It was more like a conversation, like, they only had one conversation, and then the narrator grieved their brother dying, and I felt like that was, I mean, you're gonna be sad if your sibling dies anyways.
Yeah.
But in the story, like, the only conversation they had was when they sat down to breakfast, and one of them had this very stupid idea, and the other one was kind of being a protective older sibling, but like there was still a lot of banter, and like I think at one point someone threw a spoon at each other, and it's like, well, you know, it was just like siblings, right?
Yeah.
Like I literally had five things thrown at me just 2 hours ago. So
Yeah. Whenever I read books and stuff where the siblings are perfect, I always get the impression that the author must be a person who doesn't have
swear
siblings.
that must be the
Because
only way.
because in all honesty, if you were to ask me, if you were to pay me $1 million, would I slap my siblings? Yeah, of course. I would do it for free. So there's no need to give me $1 million.
Freaking nickel.
I would pay you $1 million if I could slap my siblings and get away with it. Because that's just how siblings are.
Like,
we love each other, but at the same time, we hate every single aspect of each other.
It's like, I'll hide a body for you, but breathe in my direction one more time, and you will be the body.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
No, what was I gonna say?
I don't know.
I think one of the quotas to be an author is literally being an only sibling. Just like that has to be one of the quotas.
An only child.
An only child. Yes, an only sibling. You got rid of the rest, but no, like you have to be an only child. Otherwise, you are not going to be an author. You
were the last one standing.
Sorry, all of those people out there who have siblings and want to be an author. You're immediately disqualified according to the coordinates of Writings RS. We're sorry, but in order to be an author...
Great company name, by the way. Sounds super legit and super realistic.
They won't know. But, yes, you're no longer going to be a part of the author community.
I thought you were going to say you're no longer allowed to be a part of society, because, let's be honest, I don't know what I was going to say about being honest. There's no honesty when it comes to siblings. Let's be honest, we all have our secrets, and my secret is that I hate all of my siblings.
Code. Apparently other siblings have a sibling code. I was not aware of this because we have him and he cannot keep secrets. I went back to the name thing. I keep like alternating between actually calling them by their names and calling them him and her.
Him and her, yeah.
But it just seems safer to call him him and her.
Well, it's like nobody's gonna know or care.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
he can't keep any secrets. You could tell him life-saving information, and by the end of the day, everybody within a 50-mile radius would know. Just because he has no filter, and he talks constantly at full volume. Like just a couple of minutes ago, we were just sitting down here having our conversations, and he comes waltzing in here, clapping his hands and whistling, and he does what a younger brother does. He just isn't aware of other people's existence, I guess. I don't know any other way to explain it.
He has little child sibling or younger
siblings, baby syndrome.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the baby of the family, so he gets away with everything. I sure hope he didn't hear any of that, because we'll be hearing it from our parents if they find out. But, yeah. Anyway, next topic.
It doesn't work that way. Keep talking about siblings.
I said next topic. It is your job to have the next topic going.
No, I can't be next topic on demand. So, look at that light bulb. Every one of our viewers, just look at where I'm pointing at the moment. There's currently a light bulb.
Yes, because they can definitely see exactly where you're pointing.
Exactly. Okay, we are living in the world of audio. Anything we say just comes to life, you know? Like, this is how you could literally go about story building and just, like, tell stories, because they don't know what's going on besides what we're saying. And the fact that I keep playing with a remote and a cup holder, so we're going to throw that away.
Yeah. As far as our audience is concerned, we don't even exist. We are the first AI.
We don't exist on Earth, you mean? Yes, we don't exist on Earth, and we are going to stick by that from now on.
I was trying to go for an uncomfortable silence, but you ruined that.
I refuse.
Why do you refuse?
To have uncomfortable silence.
You see, this is what having siblings is all about. You want to do something fun, and they just ruin it for you.
And uncomfortable silence is not fun. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's...
Ergo the title.
Also, like, I know it isn't uncomfortable silence. There is some other word that I'm just forgetting right now.
I was hoping you'd fill in with trying to
See
figure out
that
word.
time you did it. See that time you went with the emotional silence. No, I mean it can be emotional. I mean, but
Do you know what we need
can
more
it be
stories
emotional?
of?
What do we need more stories of?
God. Not that one.
just out of nowhere.
Just
We need
drop
more
a word.
stories
No,
about
like,
God.
mythology, or even like there's not really any stories about like Norse mythology, really. Like, you know what I mean? Because they have
There
the Percy
is.
Jackson series, right, which is really
There-
popular, but like more things kind of like that, you
Percy
know?
Jackson is Greek mythology. It's not
That's
Norse.
Greek, but like what if, you know, like a Norse version of that, which would really be copycatting, but just like more fictional stories about the real world and like gods mixing, you know? Or what if even a story where I have read one similar about a Grim Reaper, but like stories where Earth and all of those mythologies kind of just like clash. So like Roman and Greek might morph into one, or like Norse meets Greek meets, you know, like all of these gods come together and they have a council meeting, and then you have maybe a Christianity section and a Buddhism, and like just more stories about like religion in a fantasy fiction way, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because it could be offensive.
Okay,
but
that makes me curious. What's your personal opinion on this? If Norse and Roman gods were to clash,
why Roman? Why can't they be Greek?
because they're the exact same thing.
But they're named differently, and I recognize the Greek
Okay,
better.
fine, Greek. If Norse
Thank
and
you.
Greek gods were to collide and they would fight Mount Olympus versus...
Why Greek? Why can't it be Roman?
Oh my goodness. Will you be quiet? Okay, anyway. If Mount Olympus were to fight Asgard, who do you think would win?
Oh, definitely a Norse.
I think the Greek would win, though.
Why?
Because Zeus can throw lightning bolts.
Okay, but Zeus is a frat boy, and Thor can kind of do the same thing.
Yeah, but he can only do so because of his hammer, though.
Okay, I know nothing about Norse mythology.
I know what Marvel tries to teach you, that your power comes from within. But in Norse mythology, Thor
he needs
the hammer.
Yeah, okay.
The hammer is what gives him power.
Sorry, I heard something.
Yeah, I thought I heard something too. Don't worry, it's just the murderer we keep in the basement.
Okay.
But
I actually had a dream there was a murderer in the basement last night. Anyways.
Yeah, but anyway, I just feel like the Greek gods actually have powers, whereas the Norse gods have advanced technology.
They're powerful, but they're too emotional. You know? Like, they're always about emotion, and like Hades isn't as powerful as you think. Yeah. He's just an accountant for the dead, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, his wife could kick his ass. But
also, that also reminds me.
But the
Hades is the best Greek god out of all of them. If you look through all of their histories,
yes, he's a
Hades
good guy.
is the best. He is the good guy.
Except for like the whole Persephone story, there's a part where they think he, like, depending on how you translate the word, it might be he rapes her, or... But you know, for the most part, it's a sweet story, I guess. It's a very classic love tale, like Romeo and Juliet, but like... He might have done that according to the mythology.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you win some, you lose some. No,
You win some, you lose some. No, but like, the Greek heroes are just so emotional. Greek heroes. Greek mythology, like Zeus and...
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Poseidon and like, all of them... There's the reason those stories exist for the most part is because they live with their heart, not their head. So,
yeah.
I mean, I don't remember exactly, but there's that one story about some of the goddesses got in a fight over who was the prettiest. And, like, again, I am terrible with mythology and, like, can't name anything. But they got into a fight, so they went to this dude, and he was supposed to, like, decide for them. And he got it pretty bad in the end. And I don't know exactly how. He might have been the one who was tied to a boulder, maybe.
I guess that's true. I guess, like, a lot of the Greek mythology stories are very emotional, whereas the Norse is... And I guess I haven't heard into Norse.
We really shouldn't talk about, like
mythology. If you are Norse, your gods suck. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I don't mean that at all.
We shouldn't talk about mythology and, like, butcher it so badly. If people were actually paying attention, we would just be roasted in the comments.
If you are still listening at this point, please feel free to roast us in the comments because we know that we are.
Or drop stories
wildly
about
North.
North mythology. That would be North.
Well, I mean, I think that's where Norse comes from, though,
Norse.
is the word
Yeah,
North.
it's Northerners, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's actually no... what is it called?
You know, I actually do think thinking about the Vikings, the Vikings
Nordics?
were very, very brutal. Their gods probably will just absolutely destroy
But
any
I
other
think it's
would-be god.
interesting. It is known for a fact that they had a Ragnarok. Or, like, all the Norse stories lead to a Ragnarok.
Yes.
So Norse gods, technically, by Viking standards, like, don't exist anymore, right? Like...
No, Ragnarok is yet to happen.
But I thought it did happen, too.
No, it hasn't.
Okay.
Ragnarok, so...
will be the end of, like, time, or...
Let me just say, all of my knowledge that I am about to
I know.
spew comes from a video game called God of War.
And mine's coming from a, like, podcast I used to listen to fall
Anyway.
asleep to. So I've got very faded information.
So, there were two wolves. One's chasing the sun, one's chasing the moon.
One is Fenrir, Loki's son. I think that's the name.
Yes. When they eat the sun and moon, that signifies the beginning of Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Now, during Ragnarok, Thor and Jormungandr, the world serpent, are going to get into
Jormungandr is also Loki's child.
Yes. Loki had a lot of children.
That were animals.
Yeah, but anyway. So they're going to get into a massive fight, and that massive fight is going to essentially break the earth. And it also means the destruction of Asgard. I can't remember the name of the fire dude, but Thor Ragnarok gets that part kind of correct. The fire dude is destined to be united with the eternal flame, and he is destined to destroy Ragnarok.
Fire dude. The most Norse name out of all of them. Fire dude.
There's Thor, Loki, Odin, and Dave, the fire dude.
And Dave! Da, 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 da.
But yeah, so that's what I know about Ragnarok, and I know a bunch of crazy crap supposed to happen. But yeah, so supposedly it hasn't happened yet, because as you can tell, we've still got a sun and we've still got a moon. So I assume Ragnarok is just the Norse way of saying when the world ends. So, and I'm also curious why Jormungandr and Thor are fighting, because Jormungandr wants to defend the earth, and Thor wants to defend humanity. Actually saying that out loud makes me realize exactly what's going on. Humanity is destroying the earth, so Thor has to defend humanity, while Jormungandr has to defend the earth from humanity. That explains a lot.
The Norse knew.
The Norse knew.
The Norse knew. No. What was I thinking? No.
No, that's what you were thinking?
But, shh. I had an idea.
Well, that's never good.
Oh! You know what would be a good story plot? Because I'm just, leading it back to story plots.
Yeah.
But how about what you would consider a secondary character? Just, their perspective. So,
So, an entire story told from a secondary character perspective?
Every single story is usually about, the hero who fulfills the prophecy. And sometimes or otherwise it's, the villain's story. Sometimes people write from the villain story. I've never read a story from that point of view, but it does happen, right?
Mm-hmm. So,
what if it was the villain's, morally gray assistant? And I got that title off of TikTok. There's this girl who's really funny who just, does, what if I was the villain's morally gray assistant? But literally, what if you were the villain's assistant and you just had to put up with the shit they did? You know?
Yeah. You know what exactly the villain's doing, but you're just their assistant, so you're required to do whatever they ask you to do.
Yeah, Minion from Megamind, from his perspective. You know?
Yeah, that could make an interesting story, but...
It could be, it wouldn't be, a good one. It could just be a compilation of short stories, them trying to, taunt the hero, and just the character of the book, the secondary character, just being okay, we want to taunt the villain, or the hero, but do you really think burning down their house is the way to go about this? You know?
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't, melt the polar ice caps. That might...
So you're telling me...
You're booked until Wednesday. You might not have time on Monday to melt the polar ice caps, but we'll see if we can fit you in.
You see, Like, I'm not against making the hero an orphan by killing their only parent left. However, do you really need to send 3 satellites into space to do it? No?
Also, I would
We could just hit
recommend.
them with the bus.
I also recommend you go for the child first, because I know it isn't my place. I know you're the highly evil one, and you always have to be more evil than I am. But I'm just saying that child could become a dark figure that wears a cowl and dresses up as some sort of flying mammalian life later in life and hunts you down, sir, if you leave him to live after murdering his parents outside some sort of showroom.
Sir, I realize that the prophesied child is 1, but I think this would actually be that time to strike. I know you have a 15-year plan, but we could just get him out of the way now and not have to worry about that, Like...
Yeah. Lord Voldemort, you could just kill the boy right now instead of all this taunting and...
That backfired on him, let's be honest.
Well, no, but I mean, like, when he was resurrected, he could have just killed Harry, but he decided to...
Off.
What?
I'm just going to cut you off every other sentence.
Are you going to cut me off?
Yes.
Of course you're going
to.
Am I allowed?
Why not?
Okay, anyway. But yeah, like, Voldemort could have killed Harry Potter, but he decided not to. And then eventually he did kill Harry Potter, and that didn't work. Because of my personally favorite theory is that Harry was the master of death at the time, but you can make whatever assumptions you want about it. But, like, I wonder if, had Voldemort had a personal assistant, do you think he would have actually gotten around to killing Harry Potter sooner?
He did have a personal assistant, but it was a rat and a snake, so take that as you will.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's fair. But... anyway, you think that's a good place to leave it for now?
No.
What do you mean, no?
What if the bad guy wasn't the bad guy? Sorry. No, like, I have one more prompt, I promise. Maybe I don't yet.
Well, where was this prompt earlier?
I didn't find it.
And if this goes well, we can have other discussions later, right?
Yeah. A murder mystery where every character believes themselves responsible for the death and tries to cover it up. Okay, this sounds like a good idea, but it's been done so many times. Yeah. And there's other ones where it's like they did something bad. Otherwise, it's like a murder mystery where they did something bad and they're covering it up. That's why they're suspicious. Like,
what about a murder mystery where nobody actually died? The supposedly murdered person never actually existed and is just assumed to be dead.
No. I had an idea once where there was a murder mystery idea where the person was believed to be stabbed in a cave.
Okay.
But it actually turned out to be like a stalagmite, but it just like the way they died, I don't know how to explain it the best. So they were stabbed by a stalagmite. That's what it is, right? When it comes from this, stalactite, because it hangs tight, right? Yeah, stalactite.
Tight, well, like how I remember it is tight, because if you look at a T, it points down. Mm-hmm. And mite, if you look at the M, it points up.
Oh, that would make it easier. Something moved over there.
I think it's our dog.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No, so, like, a stalactite would fall from the ceiling and either stab him in the back of the neck or, like, give him enough blunt force trauma to kill a person. And people would find this body and assume it's a killer, or, like, there was a murderer loose because they came with a group of people but never came back. So they were filed as missing person, right?
Yeah.
And so you would round up all 12 suspects because, 12 is a lucky number. Okay. And that means there was 13 in the cave, which means something bad was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Because superstition!
Yeah.
You gotta do the rainbow arms with superstition. Anyway.
Just as the audience imagine, I did the rainbow arms. Anyway, continue.
He did not. And I'm still wearing a shirt.
You are not wearing my shirt.
Anyways.
Just because you say it multiple times does not make it true.
I am wearing the shirt, and if we had an audience, they would believe me. There would be fan art of me wearing the shirt, and it would literally be blue and say the shirt across it, and it would be yours.
And my shirt would be blue. It would be the exact same shirt, except this is my shirt on it instead of the shirt. Anyway.
And then we'd make merch of it.
No, that would...
shirt, the
shirt.
Shirt.
Wow, you really think we're going to make it to merch?
No.
At this rate, we're not. But anyway.
We're not even going to make it till 10 o'clock. Oh, it's 10:30.
It's been almost half an hour of us discussing.
No,
Do you want to finish your thought or?
Never. No. So, like, the idea is it would, like, kill him, right?
Yeah.
And then the police would round up all the suspects, and all the suspects would think that they were may have done some, like, games or something in the dark, and it's possible they died, because they realized when they got out, hey, we only have 12 people, and, you know, then they called the police, and they're, like, all trying to cover it up. And I think it would be an interesting murder mystery where none of them actually did it. Howdy.
But yeah, I think that would be an interesting murder mystery, though.
Howdy.
I can't just be down here.
Howdy.
You can.
You guys up to?
Just chatting.
But, like,
But yeah, a murder mystery without a murderer.
with no one, where no one, yes, not where no one dies, where no one actually did it. Who done it, but no one done it. Because, like, it's a great idea, a murder mystery where every character believes themselves responsible for the death.
Yeah.
But I've read books where there was this really creative book. I think it was actually called Who Done It, where they asked like 30 different authors to write a little excerpt of why they did it and try to cover it up at the same time. And it was about this terrible editor. And so all these authors were like, me, I wouldn't have done it. If I had done it, I would have dunked him in a pickle that. And it was a good idea until at the ending where it was like, actually, guess who did it? Spoiler alert, everybody did it. And it was like, oh.
Oh, boo.
Like, yeah, it was like, we all did it in our minds. I was like, oh, that's lame.
That's lame. Anyway.
You can wrap it up, I
Was
guess.
that your only idea?
I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, I think this went well as it being our first time. It only took us half an hour to get absolutely nowhere, so that's actually.
We've been at this an hour and a half. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean this session's only been half an hour.
That's true.
But yeah. Hopefully we'll get better in the future. If you guys have any tips for us, any tips at all, please leave them in the comments, and please, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Just let us know.